Frank Warren's run is more than likely going to come to an end in the next couple of years at the least. Running Queensberry and boxing on BT on damage control over a prolonged period is not sustainable, and that's all it's been right now. And everything he does to try to clean up whatever mess Tyson Fury leaves behind him is mostly debunked with receipts, because Tyson is a messy eater. Let's just say that. So the latest one is Frank Warren. I've been saying for ages, all Alexander Usyk is interested in is getting a big payday in Saudi Arabia. I don't blame him for that, but don't make it that Tyson Fury is the greedy person. That's the reason he did not want to fight Fury in the UK. Does Frank not know that people are documenting what's happening? Fury defeated Chisora in December. Fury and Usyk negotiations started after Christmas, early January. But Bob Arum, the man who's steering the ship for Tyson Fury, not Frank, said Tyson Fury's promoter dashes Wembley hopes for Alexander Usyk bout with Middle East update. Small letters here, doesn't look like he's heading to Wembley Stadium. Bob Arum has confirmed that Tyson Fury versus Usyk will likely take place in the Middle East as a deal edges closer for the undisputed fight. British fans had hoped that the four-belt shootout would be heading to Wembley Stadium after it was confirmed the historic venue was a backup option if the fight couldn't be staged overseas. However, it appears it won't be the case, with Arum confident they will receive the most money from foreign investors. Saudi Arabia is believed to be the front runner. Hear that, Frank? When we see the money, then we'll go where it is what Arum told TalkSport in January, when the negotiations started. Now, if the money isn't really there, which he didn't believe, he said, I really believe it is, then we'll make our own money in Wembley. But right now, it looks like we're going to get a deal in the Middle East where the money is right for the fight, because the one thing with boxers and every athlete is they have limited lifespans as far as their career. It's not like a non-participant like me who can do this crap till he's past 90. A boxer can't do that. An athlete can't do that. When Frank is saying that Usyk is holding out for Saudi Arabia money, well, so is Bob Arum. Any suggestion that this fight hasn't happened because Tyson Fury is screwed up is nonsense.
Maybe Tyson Fury is going to be the hardest one, of course, to close. We all know that. Tyson Fury, was offered a whole lot of money to fight Usyk in Saudi Arabia the first time, turned it down.
There was two separate deals for both Usyk and Fury. Usyk agreed his part of the deal and was happy with what he was getting. Tyson Fury asked for too much money because he was either being greedy or he didn't want to fight. One of the two. Whatever one you want to choose, Frank, I'm good with. So you're saying that he needs to take the Wembley money when Tyson Fury already messed up the big purse he was going to get from the Saudis. And Usyk, he didn't mess up the Wembley money. He agreed 70-30 at Wembley. 70-30 at Wembley after Fury messed up Usyk's deal with the Saudis, where he was going to get a huge purse. Usyk accepted 70-30 at Wembley. And then, he couldn't shut his mouth, Tyson Fury. He started running his mouth about taking the rematch clause off the table. Alexander Usyk and Krashuk, in the public's opinion, because they won the PR war with the public, decided to step away from such unreasonable negotiation tactics from Team Fury. That's what happened, Frank.
So the situation is that Tyson has been desperate to make a fight against him, as he was against Usyk, but AJ is they've chosen not to take the fight, and that's where we're at.
Like, you can't just say Usyk walked away from the deal and AJ walked away from the deal without telling the truth why they walked away from the deal. And as for Fury not being greedy, this is a man who asked for $500 million to face Usyk last year. $500 million. I mean, the audacity of Frank Warren to say Usyk penning a new deal proves that he was just greedy for a big Saudi purse. The audacity of that. How dare you? Alright, so he's penned a new promotional pact with Saudi Arabia's Skill Challenge Entertainment. More than likely that means he's going to end his career in Saudi Arabia. after the Daniel Dubois fight, which is in Poland, obviously. Frank's just pissed off that he doesn't have a fighter like Usyk or AJ who can make deals and make fights and make the fights simple to make. Like I said, I think it's over for Frank Warren as a promoter. There's no fan base that's going to tolerate the nonsense he's saying right now for only so long. Usyk's got this new deal, the skill challenge deal, and Amir Abdullah, who told us last time that they made Fury a very good deal, which he turned down, is saying if both Usyk and Fury have straps by December, if Usyk gets past Daniel Dubois, and we'll see if Fury has a fight in between, they're going to make him a take it or leave it deal to fight Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship in December in Saudi Arabia. And then after that, I don't want to hear from Frank Warren. I don't want to hear no more Damage Control. I expect you to end your tenure with BT and Queensberry and leave us alone. Because I expect Tyson Fury to mess up that deal as well. I expect him to mess it up. He's not going to want to acquiesce to skills challenge with Usyk as the franchise player. He's going to think the deck is stacked against him. Talking about having a fight at Wembley when the Wembley money is old news now. Saudi Arabia is the lick. That's where Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are going to be fighting. Not Las Vegas or some New Jersey hotel resort. Like, remember Looney Bella was saying the fight has to happen between Wilder and AJ in America when AJ was selling out stadiums and Wilder was barely making $1 million purses. Yeah, we need to bring it back to the casino culture. That died a long time ago, idiot. Them days died a long time ago, Lou, with Trump and Mike Tyson.
Do me a favour.
There was talk of Spence and Crawford going over to Saudi Arabia on the undercard of Fury, Usyk, AJ, Wilder. But it looks like the American power players have got their house in order. The PBC are going to deal with it. If you're going to put the fights on, there's no problem. No problem at all. But if the Saudis are putting up the money and you're struggling to find the guarantees for the fighters, well, they go to Saudi. Simple as that. Why do you think we've been waiting so long for that fight?
Fast. It wasn't the result that anyone wanted. Mick Conlan obviously losing the main event. Now, the big question is, can he come again?
For me, it just wasn't his time. He got caught. He's a very brave guy. We know that. And he tried his heart out. But I think the fella was just a little bit too much for him. But it doesn't mean he can't come again. And there's some good fights, if he still wants to carry on boxing, that can be made and get himself back into a position. And I think a real good domestic fight would be him and Nick Ball. Would be a tremendous fight between the two of them, which could go on in Belfast because there's such a great audience over there and such an appreciated boxing connoisseurs. And I think that would be a great fight to put on in Belfast. But Mick at the moment, I'm sure, has got a million things on his mind. You know, he's got to think through what he wants to do. But whatever he wants to, we certainly have some fights there if he wants to continue. There's no reason why he shouldn't continue.
You see what pro boxing is all about. The paint nowhere near dried yet, on the Venado Conlan fight, and there's Frank pitching for Conlan to be a stepping stone for Nick Bull. I mean, Frank could have called out Mauricio Lara for Nick Bull. He no longer has a title, but he called out a man who just got knocked out a few days back, and it was a bad knockout too. I don't take no issue if Conlan wants to take the fight. No problem at all. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not trying to be Michael Conlan's guardian or anything like that. But of all the opponents you would select for your top 10 ranked contender to build his profile, Nick Bull is ranked number 4 with the WBC and number 7 with the WBO. You ask for the guy who's been knocked out in, what is it now, 2 out of his last 3? Frank couldn't even wait for Conlan to announce that he's still going to box. Yeah, that's the game though. That's the game. And while we're talking about Mick Conlan, I did run a poll on YouTube. 443 votes, which is a nice sample size. 45 people opted to say yes, and 55 opted to say no.